everybody. Woo. This is episode 2 of the Flaccidly Ill Podcast. Woo. Welcome. Say hello, guys.
Hello, it's me. It's your boy, Elliot. Or Eli the Flaccid.
How's it going? It's me, undisclosed black man with undisclosed profile picture.
Oh, yes.
What is it? Mystery. What is it going to be this time? We'll find that out.
So let's start things off. First topic, let's just jump right into it. This is something Elliot's been excited about. Street Fighter gym shirt.
All right.
I don't know what that means.
You're gonna announce my topic for me, like I'm not here in the room.
I just don't know. I want to know more about this topic. I'm curious.
Right, I'm gonna give you a little context here.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
I'm gonna give you a little context here. There was a tweet I was looking at. This came out October 12th, so about 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
and
fresh.
For the past 6 days, the FGC has been... Everything stopped. Everything has been put on pause.
For those that don't know, just saying, maybe some people in the room might not know, what is the FGC?
Fuck you. Anyway, the FGC, the fighting game community, people who play fighting games,
yes,
have been stuck on this tweet for the longest fucking time, and it's hilarious. Mm-hmm. I want to know how y'all feel about this. If it's just a clout chaser, or it's an actual thing, and this involves gym etiquette.
Okay.
You guys been to the gym? I feel like gym etiquette is like a lot of unspoken, rules. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is what this person put on Twitter. Been at the gym for 15 minutes before some dude approached me as I'm trying to get cardio in. Waved and pointed at my Street Fighter shirt until I yanked my earbuds out and loudly asked him what the fuck he wanted. You play? Nope. Earbuds back in, volume all the way up.
Period. Is this a guy or a girl?
Girl.
Oh.
Well, Twitter, you can never be 100% sure. But
you sounded sure.
I believe, the picture is, I'm assuming, female. But these days you don't want to assume. I don't see any pronouns. I don't see any pronouns.
They got their fucking. Regardless, it's
I don't see no pronouns, but regardless, a lot of people have been going on about this tweet because it goes back to gym etiquette, as well as, was this guy flirting, or just see someone who has a Street Fighter shirt and it's like, I also play Street Fighter, but it's also like in the middle of her workout, so it's like
I guess it kind of depends. I've been to the gym and I said hi to someone. I've not reconnected, but actually, man, one of my friends, longtime friends, what was it? I think it was Ishmael, actually. I saw at the gym years ago.
Oh, man.
And we said what's up, and that was cool. So, you can say hi to someone at the gym.
But this is like someone you don't know at all.
I've had a conversation here and there with, dudes at the gym.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of it is just, people in the comments just going back and forth about, stop clout chasing. That probably was like a 5-second interaction. You didn't need to make a tweet about it. But then some people are like, well, if they're in the middle of a workout, don't, talk to someone in the middle of a workout, especially if they have earbuds in. They're obviously trying not to get talked to. They're trying to focus.
Some people be in the zone, I guess,
And then some people are like, well, then wait. Then what do I, if I wanted to talk to that person, do I wait until they're heading out the door?
Yeah, but I say,
because then it's still kind of weird and creepy.
Yeah. When do you know the songs are? Hey, let me know when the songs are.
It's a weird thing, and I feel like this has happened before countless times, but because it was a Street Fighter shirt, people are been stuck on this.
I'm about to say, this is like your common little Facebook scenario. This was way back to Facebook. People asking questions like, how would you feel about this social interaction?
Yeah,
I get it. The Street Fighter community. It's just any community. You see someone wearing the shirt, you're like, oh hey, that's cool.
You see what you assume is one of you.
Yeah,
out there, I also play Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Try to build a connection.
Yeah, I guess if in the same situation, so let's say I really like One Piece as an anime. If I saw somebody with a One Piece shirt, would I personally go and be like, hey man, what arc are you on? Have you already caught up? Probably, I guess so. But if it's a chick, most of the time I'd probably leave them alone because I don't want to get fucking screenshot and put on blast on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those things where. Obviously, I don't know who this individual is who tweeted this, but there's so many factors that can factor into any kind of response you have.
Yeah.
Because
especially if they just look mean, most of the time you can sort of tell. Like,
but it's also like resting bitch face is a thing.
Yeah, that's also true.
I kind of look upset, and you talk to me, I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? You know what I mean?
I'd be looking at Elliot, be like, look at Elliot's fucking mean looking ass. Now I gotta go fucking talk to him. Hey, Elliot, what's up?
Let's bring up besides that, like, let's bring up the not problem, but like if you're wearing something that you have no idea about that doesn't like represent any of your taste, it's kind of like silly.
Well, yeah.
It's like if I'm wearing like an Agame ga Kill shirt, which is an anime.
It's a good anime.
You know, and someone comes up to me.
I was literally about to be like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
And someone's like, oh, hey, that's a sweet anime. And I'm just like, what? the shirt you're wearing, and I'm like, it just sounds cool.
Yeah,
like I'm an asshole. Like I'm a piece of shit for that. You know, like not to be too hard on the people.
It's a lot of things, right? Because like you said, the shirt that's a thing. Shirt that I don't understand or whatever. I'm not gonna wear the shirt.
Yeah,
but there's like countless fucking factors. Maybe it's her boyfriend's, maybe it's her brother, doesn't have a spare shirt.
Yeah.
If she, and then it's also like people are complaining about the attitude, which I get to a degree.
Yeah.
Because, he just wanted to be like, oh, you play, try to make a friend. She just was like, no.
Yeah. If it's a she.
Was like,
whoever they are.
Yeah, responded with like, what the fuck you want? It's like, you play? No. Like, did you have to be quote unquote rude about it? But it's also like, maybe this is not the first time something like this has happened to this individual. And I understand the gym etiquette of headphones in, someone's in the middle of a workout. Try not to bother. Imagine trying to talk to a dude about to bench press like 450 pounds and he's and you're like, hey man, you
are those Yeezys?
Yo, are those the new Yeezys, bro? He's like, what? So like I get it. But it's also like this person was doing cardio. I feel like that's not
it's a very
as
passive
intense,
type of thing.
Yeah. I guess specifically, I don't know what type of cardio they were doing. I'm guessing that is something on the treadmill, but it
treadmill or maybe even on like the
little elliptical, or
the elliptical thing
or whatever. Maybe.
But like that again, that is still like a passive thing.
Or it's like if you're on an exercise bike, like that's honestly that's not a workout, but it's like you can do anything
you're
else.
literally just
like
sitting
you have
there
your whole
on
upper body.
Yeah,
frame.
you're sitting there on a bike.
Yeah.
What exactly are you focusing on?
Most of the time, that's what people. Whenever people like go and work out together, they get on those things to talk to each other. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're not in the zone next to your buddy on the elliptical. It looks silly. You guys are talking to each other. You guys taking a bike ride.
It reminds me like I had a situation. Well, not situation, but one of my work friends before. She used to wear this Dragon Ball Z shirt, and I was finally like, oh yeah, cool. Like have you watched it? And she was like, oh yeah, I love Dragon Ball Z. Like I'm a fan. That's why I wear the shirt. And I'm like, oh, like where'd you get to? And like I had to dig a little bit. And so she didn't even get past the Saiyan saga.
Oh no.
And I was like, you're a piece of shit, man. How are you gonna say you're a fan? You haven't like watched the shit. So I mean, I can get that, like people just wearing the shirt for they
like how it looks or something.
Yeah. Like, to feign like they're they know about it, they're part of the community. It's like wearing, I don't know, an Eminem shirt or whatever cool rappers out there, but you haven't listened to any of their songs.
Yeah. It definitely like clothing especially is very You're sending a message, whether you want to or not, is about your clothing or what you're wearing. If you're wearing something that has a design, like right now, Patrick, you're wearing a Gatorade Kissimmee shirt. That means you're a bitch.
He's representing Gatorade,
but
I hate Gatorade.
But I'm assuming that you've drinking Gatorade?
I have partaken in the raid of the Gators.
And you lived in Kissimmee once.
I unfortunately have.
So... if I wear a fucking, let's say like a Caribbean shirt, it's like, oh, you've been there? No.
Like that's it. End of interaction. But I'm the asshole for asking.
Yeah, it's weird. It's gym, but also social cues, which are can be very hard to read or grasp.
Yeah.
I think the reason why it blew up is because I'm assuming this individual is a female. Because if it was like a dude and a dude, I feel like it wouldn't have garnered a lot of attention. Like no one would really care.
You see the comments, hey, way to be a dick, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm looking at some of the comments here right now, and it's like if a woman in public wants you to interact with her, she's usually very good at making that obvious. If you're unsure if she wants you to interact with her, chances are she wants to be left very much the fuck alone.
Is this fucking Animal Planet?
That's what I mean. It's like I understand that, but it's also like. I don't know.
Yeah, Twitter's a whole separate type.
Yeah, it's like you wanna go and talk to somebody. It's like you have to fucking stake them out.
Yeah.
You have to like hide behind bushes, watch them for a couple minutes. Yeah, like no, you just walk up to them, have an interaction. As long as it's friendly and you're not like being obnoxious. What's the problem? People complain all the time about being lonely, not talking to anyone, and it's like, but you want to have this shit out there, like.
And again, like to clap back at just no. Or like they could have even been like, no, I don't, sorry, and I'm sure the guy would have been like, oh, okay. He would have been like, well, what a fucking poser, what the fuck? Yeah. You're wearing a Street Fighter shirt? You don't even know who fucking E Honda is? What are you, a fucking pussy?
They get on the
now, what you know about that OTG reset?
Right next to them, they get right on the treadmill. They're like, what the fuck is your problem? Like,
no,
come back here.
That's bad gym etiquette. If you're at a Planet Fitness or wherever the frick you're at, and there's multiple treadmills, and you decide to get on the treadmill next to somebody.
I was gonna say it's the urinal unspoken rule. Unless there is no other treadmills available, don't go next to someone unless you know them.
It's like come on, like can you give me some space?
Like unless I know you specifically.
Yeah,
then no, go ahead. Next to me. I mean, even at the urinal, if I know you, I'm not gonna be next to you. I'm not gonna look over.
It's gonna be one in between, so we can still.
I'm gonna go next to you and be like, "Yo, nice cock, bro."
Oh, I thank you. And the friends.
Yeah, we're friends. Look at that, bro. We're cool, bro. It's not gay. Calm down. But that's what I wanted to talk about because like social cues and also Twitter. Twitter is such an amazing.
Oh my god.
Twitter is like such an obnoxious place. I think I said it last podcast. Like people, you can tell who are actively on Twitter by the way they talk because they are.
It's so bad.
Yeah, like they don't talk like normal human beings in a regular
it's just
setting.
Fighting.
Like if I say something like, "Oh yeah, I do like." You know, I like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
For example, and they're like, "Oh, so you hate Left 4 Dead too?" It's like, no, I didn't say that.
I just like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I just said I like Left 4 Dead, but then they assume
you voted for Trump.
Yeah, then they assume like all these things.
This man is a confirmed racist.
They say all these things. It's like, yeah, I like Hispanic women. It's like, oh, so you don't like black women, you don't like Asian women, you don't like white women. It's like I didn't say that. I just said I like Hispanic, but they dig to find other things that were never explicitly said. So it gets annoying being on Twitter and just seeing how
walk on eggshells, bro.
Yeah, everything that people say, they try to say it in such a way that no one can do that.
Yeah.
But then when people find that little the rip that they can dig their fingers into and be like, oh, you're a xenophobe, whatever the fuck, then they feel so fucking high and mighty about themselves. And it's like, bro, you're on Twitter. Calm down.
Right. It's like you get in trouble for having a benign opinion.
Yeah, everything has to be politically correct on Twitter or else you're going to get fucking roasted. And people don't want to be canceled. And people don't want to be like soft blocked and all this other shit. Nobody wants to be the spectacle of something, being accused of something that they clearly aren't, So,
which is what's happening with Dave Chappelle right now.
Oh man, not my man Dave. Not my man Dave.
Anything but Mr.
Yeah, I saw that special. Did you see the news that employees at Netflix...
I saw the article pop up, I didn't read it.
Yeah, the transgender employees are trying to rally against Netflix because they released a special, and I think the CEO stood by it. They're really upset.
There's a lot of offensive things on Netflix, and it's not just that Dave Chappelle.
It's a weird thing because there's like one thing about being offensive, like explicitly. Obviously, everyone knows what being racist is outright. I mean, Trump was president for 4 years. We know what that's like. But then also, I feel like it's such a weird area when it comes to like comedy.
Yeah.
Being a stand-up comedian, because your job is to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And not everyone will laugh at what you say or what you talk about, which is understandable.
Yeah.
I used to be a fan of Dane Cook.
Oh,
Not big fan anymore. Not because I don't think he's that funny anymore, but I just
the humor
just
gets
not
old
into it
sometimes.
anymore.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, in my eyes, will always be one of the greats because obviously Chappelle's show is fucking hilarious. He brings up a lot of points in his specials that are not just about comedy, but just to make you think.
Yeah, a lot
And
of
I think
social
that's
issues.
good. So when this happened, this isn't the first time this happened either.
Oh, every single special,
Like
every single one, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, coming recent, all of his earlier specials were labeled for like homophobia.
Yeah.
I remember because of the one joke, if there was a gay superhero, no one would recognize him because he changes clothes every day.
Yeah.
Like, you have a different. It's like, I don't understand what's hateful about that.
Yeah, and it's like the thing is too, like, he'll always say like, of course I don't feel these ways, they're just jokes. A lot of comedians always say like, they're just jokes, it's just us making light. And the thing is too, like, you don't see you don't see white people walking out on like Netflix because Dave Chappelle, I don't know, said like, oh, white guys are stiff or something. You don't see white people like, this is an outrage. There's nothing like that.
I need to watch the special. I haven't looked into it yet. You've watched it. How did you feel about it? Did you feel like?
I mean, he explicitly said like, look, I don't like every single special. I don't have a problem with transphobe people. His biggest thing is like, it's just like a funny topic to kind of poke at, and he makes jokes about gay people. He makes jokes about lesbians. Yeah. The gay community isn't after him. The lesbian community isn't after him. It's
well, not
the
anymore,
trans
but
community
Yeah.
that's just so angry at him. But it's like, we understand. You have a right to feel the way you do, of course, but that at the end of the day, it's just jokes, and he's not like trans people are disgusting. I hate them.
No, it's just a joke.
There's a lot of different opinion, not different, but there's two sides, obviously, right? Whereas like we make these jokes on one side because we want to bring up the issue and have people think about it. Yeah. But then we have the other side who, they're the way they see it is like these jokes are negative because they paint a negative image on us and it can spread more hate.
No, 100%.
And, I understand that to a degree because it wasn't like, let's say like a Mexican joke about them being lazy. It's like, that is something that can be, that's negative kind of thing, right? Yeah. But then I feel like the jokes that I have heard, because I see it all the time on fucking TikTok, it's like, it's not anything crazy.
It's not anything. It's like, like defaming anything. It's just a joke. It's not really like, it's like already, it's a concept that's already sort of accepted as something that's funny, but it's not like he's like slandering an entire group of people or entire,
I definitely need to see the special to get a better idea of the whole thing, but what I saw or what I've heard, I'm just regurgitating shit I've heard it at this point. Yeah. But someone I saw explain it as like, he's saying it, the point of all that was the fact that the trans community especially was very into that cancel culture because, Dave Chappelle and a lot of other people, they make jokes about everyone else, but you can't joke about trans. And that was kind of the point, is that they have a lot of power in canceling things that they feel is not right. Whether it's actual, justified or not. Yeah. And I think that is a problem with that.
Oh, definitely. And it's funny, like, the point he brings up a lot, too, is, like, these trans people will be like, you don't understand our struggle. And he's always like, I'm black, right? Like, black people get gunned down in the street just for being black, right? Yeah. So how are you going to tell me, my people that went through slavery, that I don't understand your struggle, and me, like, making, just light of a situation is out of context?
Yeah.
Like, that's... No.
Yeah.
No.
One of the things that... last podcast, the R. Kelly thing, he had an R. Kelly joke or, segment is the word. Segment in one of his stand-ups, which I thought was really good because he made jokes about it, and some people could have interpreted what he was saying as he was defending R. Kelly, but he was never defending R. Kelly.
Yeah.
He was going nothing even against R. Kelly. He was attacking our justice system because while the girl was 14, and that Boondocks joke of personal responsibility, I see piss coming, I move. She saw piss coming, she stayed. It's our fucking Kelly. But this was, I could be wrong about the age, but like this younger, I think it was boy, got tried as an adult for accidentally killing his younger brother doing like, they were just playing, they were just doing wrestling moves on each other, and he accidentally killed him and got tried as an adult. But this 14-year-old or however old she was, I know she was just older, is being treated as someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was the point of that segment.
Yeah.
Was nothing against the R. Kelly thing. It was just the justice system of it's fucked up how they're treating, how it's so radically different.
Right.
Yeah,
and so
100%.
that's one of the things I respected about Dave Chappelle and all of his specials is like there's a point to things he is saying. Make you think.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
this is easily one of those. But because it's about the trans community, it's a problem. I guess.
Yeah. It's silly, man. Just like everything that's going on, it's 2021. You gotta take a joke.
It's rough, man. It's rough.
It's rough out there. That's why Ellie did not keep all of our jokes internally to our own little chats. If anybody were to see some of the shit Ellie would not be saying to each other, oh, that's it. You might as well just send us on to fucking Australia where nobody can fucking be racist.
No, but they're criminals there. all Australians are criminals. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, they're almost not even people. The Aborigines.
It's a fucking the entire continent of Australia is coming down on our
The
heads.
entire Australia is like, you're right.
That's like that reminds me of like, what was it? Japanese were doing research and they had claimed that they're not even like evolved from the same type of monkey the rest of us are. like we're not even related to you animals.
That's fucked up, man.
Like for me, like, should I be offended by that?
I don't know if you guys. That sounds sort of backhanded. Like, what you guys trying to say?
Like, hold on. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We were laughing about it, but now I'm thinking about it.
I am offended. Where's my Twitter account?
But yeah, like, I love Dave Chappelle. It sucks that this is continuously still happening.
Yeah. He's still getting paid no matter what.
Yeah. I think they just
he
haven't
got
watched
paid
the
no matter
specials.
what for having it on there.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think they just haven't watched the specials. Like, when someone's attacking something, and he mentions it too, it's like, you can know that they haven't, like, looked into what that media is.
Yeah.
They're just, like, piggybacking off of something else. It's like taking something out of context. Like, I don't know if you say something like, oh, women's rights, joke, ha 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 ha. But then, like, before that, you said, like, oh, this is, here's an example of a bad joke.
Yeah.
But then the media will, like, cut that part out.
Yeah, and
they'll be like, oh, what a misogynist.
I don't know. I think there's a word for that. I don't remember what that shit is.
I don't know. But it's like,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
like, have you heard of I think it's Jim Jeffries.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy, and he makes a lot of like kind of misogynistic jokes.
Yeah.
But it's all stupid, and he downs on himself for being an idiot, for being an asshole.
Yeah.
So he makes fun of himself like in equal parts. Yeah. But like, they cut all of that out, and they're just like misogynist, bad guy, evil, and it's like I mean, it's
jokes nowadays. I feel like. Jokes nowadays where like telling a woman that they're just a dishwasher. I don't even feel like that's offensive anymore because that was like 10 years ago. That's just like, bro,
it's more.
Are you dumb?
It's more of making fun of how stupid it was back then. Like you're making a joke about the joke now. You know what I mean? It's not
it's meta,
and it's like, bro, like. Come on now. Like, are you dumb? Like, it's a lot of stupid shit like that. But yeah, I wanted to touch on those because Twitter is always a fucking strange place to me. I don't know why I'm on there for so much.
I love it so much.
But
it's such a fucking mess.
I gotta break into that field.
It is a dumpster fire sometimes, and sometimes I would be like 4 a.m. going through like threads because people are going back and forth, and I'm like, holy shit.
That almost reminds me that's like the chick who lost her job at NASA.
Yes.
For the Twitter post.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Do you guys remember that? That was awesome.
That was a while ago. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
If you don't remember that or don't know about that, girl got hired at NASA and was like, fuck yeah, I got hired at NASA, bitches. And then someone replied, watch your language, and they said, I don't give a fuck, I work at NASA. But the person who said watch your language was like a higher up dude who is at NASA, and is like, they got fired. And it's like, you just fucked your life up for like literally for clout. Like,
and it's like for no reason. Like the dude didn't even get her in trouble. Like it's because it kind of went viral and someone else saw that.
Yeah.
And someone decided like, they were able to like piece it together, and they were like, okay, so no, you no longer have a job here.
And the dude wasn't even like being a dick about it. It was sort of like a hey, like watch your language. He's like literally like, people could be watching you on your profile. Like this is like
you are a part of NASA now.
Yeah, this is what you represent. She's like, well.
Because the shit was too. She like did at NASA.
Yeah.
So she's like,
That's the shit. Like before we get hired at Universal, the first thing that they do for our orientation is we have to go through this whole fucking like privacy, like what's it called? It's like a specific term for it. But pretty much when it comes to us posting
privacy bitch act.
It's like a whole disclosure thing that we have to do. So like there's a social media policy. Pretty much if we were to post anything about Universal on our main account or an account that's attached to our name, but even if we're not adding Universal, let's say you just like go and you're just talking about work and you're like, fuck work fucking sucks, like I hate this, that, and the other. Universal can use that as literal, like that's evidence to fire you real quick. So many people get fired for like, the one thing that you can't do is if you work at Universal, you cannot go to those annual pass holder pages. If you go to those annual pass holder pages and you try to like defend like let's say there's annual pass holders like talking shit about ET, and then Ellie goes up in and be like, hey man, this is the problem, this is good, that's going on, you guys can't be doing this, like you guys are fucking stupid. But like it's almost like getting into a fight outside of work, but Universal will be like, hey, even though you did it outside of work, you're still gonna get fired because you you're
a representative.
You represent Universal.
That's why like since social media, a lot of people are born into social media fucking. They're just posting everything that's going on online, and it's like you guys got to be a little bit more private about your life sometimes.
Bro, but which I don't even get, like, because I've been a manager for a little bit, and I've seen a lot of people like get fired for the most obvious stuff. It's like posting on Facebook like, I'm gonna whip like person's full name as who works at this job, and it's like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah. Yo, you gonna shut that off, or am I gonna have to slam this shit at you?
It's alright.
But it's like,
this isn't the pilot episode anymore, bro. We can't be making these mistakes.
It was like, why would you put your full name, your place of work, and threaten somebody publicly to thousands of people?
Because they don't have any foresight.
Yeah. But it's the whole thing of, keeping it real.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it real.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Oh, no, goes right. Yeah, fire these dumbasses. Like,
this is a certified hood classic.
Trapaholics.
It's like, if you're doing that outside, like, you deserve to get fired from work. Like, because I can't imagine you're filtered at work like that, you know?
Exactly. If you're acting buck wild outside the house, then I don't even know what you're doing inside the house. You know what I mean? Like, outside the company representing and saying shit like
this.
How you
gonna get inside the company if you can't even get in?
It's bad, but you really do have to watch what you see on social media. Like, I've really seen people fired so many times, man. People will do some shit like, if you call in sick and you go on Facebook and post that you're at a party, like, you don't even need an investigations team. They're not even going to make a fake account and do investigations. Just Universal can be like, your supervisor can be like, hey, look at this. You ain't sick. Get the fuck out. Like, I think people fired for dumb shit like that.
What if you're at the party
and you're
in bed? And you're just like, yeah, like, I just wanted to vibe. Like, I just wanted to vibe, you know. I'm not really out partying. I don't even drink. Like, you got water next to you, not even like alcohol.
You got your face mask, be like, hey, man, I'm still sick, but, you know,
I gotta come out. You know, I gotta come out with the homies.
It's fucking bad, bro. I think you've seen it before. Universal HR will create these fake accounts, and they're sort of like blatantly fake accounts. But they'll start adding everybody on a specific team. Whenever there's an HR situation, like let's say like a girl got fucking touched, or like something happened that was inappropriate, and she went to HR about it, or something like you know some shit that may have happened, or some photos may have gotten leaked. Somebody, who knows what may have fucking happened.
They pull up like Steve Buscemi. What it do, fellow team members?
But let's say some shit happens that's not necessarily for work. They'll make these fake accounts and they'll start adding everybody on the team, and then like they're not gonna message anybody. They're just gonna go through everybody's account and like look and see at all their posts, and that's HR taking all of these receipts and making a big ass file about it. And then the second that there's somebody that's an HR hearing, they're gonna whip that bitch out on the table and be like, all right,
what's this motherfucker? What's this?
Yeah, it's you've seen that before. Oh my gosh, it's pretty fun because it's just a fucking indiscreet where you can't tell who's in the photo. It's just like somebody, like there's like a girl and like a WWE, and like there's just the audience of the WWE. It's like one of those like fucking like stock characters that you see in the back of like Madden 2006, and you're like, who is it? Who's fucking Maggie Peterson? I don't think she works here. I'll add her anyway. Like that's it, bro. Oh my god. Well, did I tell you about the cartel, the Compass cartel?
Yeah.
That whole we talking about that last time?
No, not last time, but you told me about it like off podcast.
Man, this was fun. I guess I know we're sidetracking, but since we're talking about HR / investigation situations, there's a situation. So at Universal, there's the comp passes. You cannot sell a comp pass, right? You cannot sell it for money. So if I give you a comp pass, and if for any reason like you give me money for it, Universal finds out, I'm getting fired, right? And there's
But Jamel, it was just for the gas.
Yeah, but like you can trade comp passes for anything. I can trade comp passes for haircuts. I can trade comp passes for
hand job.
Yeah, whatever you want. Physically, you can trade comp passes for tattoos. People do that all the time. People trade comp passes for other tickets. So you want to trade your Disney ticket for my Universal ticket? That's fine. You just can't trade it for physical money. So what this one person decided to do, and there was this whole group of team members at Old Hope called La Familia, right?
Oh.
And here's how it started. One lead of the whole lead team and attractions there decided, hey, here's what I'm gonna do. How about you guys just all give me your logins, because you have to log into your own personal account. How about you guys give me all of your logins for all of your Compass accounts, and here's what I'm going to do.
That's mistake number one.
I'm going to go and I'm going to start selling all of these, and I'm going to give you guys a percentage out of it. So it's almost like a bank. It's like, you guys just need to give me your tickets, and you don't have to do anything, and then whatever cut I get out of it from selling it to these other people, then that's fine. So here's what Universal does. So you can sell tickets on fucking Craigslist, on eBay, Facebook Marketplace. You can put messages out and try to sell the tickets, but Universal will go and make fake vendor accounts. So what happened was this guy sold a ticket. Right, he bought a ticket on eBay. Right, he bought it from the one of the whole ring. Right. And then that guy sold the ticket to another fake vendor, which was a Universal investigation vendor, and it tracked back to that guy, who tracked back to one of the leads who had all the accounts, and then so that's the very top of the ring. Then it branches out to every single person. Yeah. So you're talking a whole 30-person operation, because you gave somebody if you just were one time, you're yeah man, what the fuck ever, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, let's say you leave Hope and you go and doing something else, you're in the back of house working in the warehouse or whatever, and 3 years ago you gave somebody your account and they gave you fucking $60 in return because of that one interaction that they're going to trace back to all your logins and all your transactions and all your Compass histories. They're going to find you 3 years and be hey man, gotta go. Give me your ID.
Go ahead, clock out for me, bro.
We had a guy. He was a trainer at Transformers. He left Hulk he was a Transformers about 3 years, and like, you know, he was a old Hulk trainer, but whenever this whole thing fucking crumpled down, like fucking Miami Vice style, they literally like came Isaac like in the middle of the shift. They didn't even give him a chance to like finish a shift. Like he just like, hey, bump out real quick, and then that was it. We didn't see Isaac the rest of him and his wife got fired because his wife never even gave him anybody the account, but he took like his wife's account number and her password and gave it to the dude. He didn't even tell his wife, so both him and his wife got no money, and they just had a baby, and they got 2 kids, and they just had a baby that was like a newborn.
You hate to see it.
But it'd be shit like that, man. That shit's fucking wild. Universal does not fuck around, bro. When I tell you that their shit, like they're always looking at somebody's like anytime you log into the company computer, every single thing that you do on that company computer, even if you log onto the Wi-Fi, every single thing you do on the Wi-Fi is logged. And if
they tell you
your IPs, every single every single thing is logged. But that's why, like, if you really want to like be looking up porn, do not look up porn on the company Wi-Fi, because somebody will come and look up your fucking history, be like, what is this?
Bro, it was just a prank, bro. Come on. I know you watched it too. It was funny. I know you watched it too. Come on.
This lady from HR got mad at me one time because I guess we were having this whole investigation with our apprenticeship program. She was like, you can't be using a company computer for personal stuff. I was like, you mean school? The school, like, I have to go to school. Like, they had to do schoolwork for Seminole, which was part of the apprenticeship program for work. And I was like, you mean like me doing like going to Seminole and doing like the research that I need to do for my project for school, which you make me do here on property? And she was like, yeah, you can't be using it for personal stuff. I was like, what do you mean? I'm over here in the Zoom class.
I'm in the middle of the Zoom. What do you mean? You're in the Zoom class.
Bro. And I was like, and they were, because it was a. Long story short, whenever you cheat in the apprenticeship program, you get fired. So they like put out an investigation on everybody about who was cheating and this, that, and the other. And I was like, why is this HR lady talking to me at 6 o'clock in the morning, bro?
Come on, bro. Nice tangent, though. Nice tangent. It's always fun to talk about Universal bullshit.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's some nasty shit. There's some dirty shit. There's some scandalous shit I've seen at Universal, and I've been there since I was 19 years old. And
how old are you now? Like 45?
26.
45?
No, 45. Yeah. And
you're only like a year. You're like a little over a year young. Not over. You're a little under a year older than me.
March 7th, 1995, baby.
Am I the oldest here?
How old are you?
Yo, I'm 26, about to be 27.
I just turned 26.
Yeah.
So give me my cane.
You're a few months older than me.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Yeah, 95, yeah, bro.
Give me your money.
Run that shit.
95's a rough year, bro. Because like you're technically a millennial, but I love Gen Z fucking humor. I feel like because TikTok is cracking me the fuck up, bro.
So hold on, before we get too deep, I want to ask you, Patrick, about this.
Yeah.
Back for Blood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Black for Blood.
Black for Blood. What?
Go ahead. Tell me about that. Have you played it recently?
Oh yeah.
So what's up? You said it changed from the beta.
It did change. Like, have you played it recently?
No.
Ooh, well, let me tell you about Back for Blood. Well, when the beta came out, it was alright.
It was whack. I'm gonna just say that.
Oh?
Yeah, my opinions about it were very negative for a few different reasons.
Did you play Left 4 Dead 1 and 2?
Yo, always.
Okay.
Yeah. I played those games for literal. I think if you put like all the time together, it had to have been like months.
Oh God. Oh, okay. Go ahead, man.
It was great. You know, I had friends.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Oh.
No more.
But yeah, like, you know, friends I play with, we playing that shit. Shit was fun. But like playing Back for Blood, I know I asked you about it, but my opinion on the beta was that it was too complicated.
Oh really?
For an idea as it is. Like, you have all these guns, you have RPG level styles of like the damage, you know, whatever.
Yeah, attachments.
All the extra attachments. And I'm like, bro, I just want to get in and shoot.
And shoot people.
I just want to get in, shoot, and just have a good time. Because it's made by the same people who did Left 4 Dead, right?
No. Valve made Left 4 Dead. This is by, I think it's Turtle Rock and someone else.
But I'm pretty sure like they advertised it. I'm gonna look it up on my laptop. But it was like I think it was like from the creators of Left 4 Dead, not like Valve.
Yeah.
But like someone in Valve who made it is probably at this company now.
From Valve went over to
yeah.
Rock,
So it's similar in the idea of. You have a starting point, you have your peoples, you're in a safe room, you're going to another safe room, and there's a story to it. I have no idea what the fuck the story is.
Just like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. Is it really like you just have to escape?
Yeah.
Kinda, it's just like Left 4 Dead. Like, you start at a point and you're like, oh my goodness, we need to fucking sound the alarm.
Yeah.
Oh no, like we need to get to the evac point at the hospital, and then at the last, you're at the hospital trying to get the evac.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So yeah, it's essentially Left 4 Dead, but like for the beta anyway. I haven't played the new one. It just seemed overly complicated. Like, why is there a shop system? Why is there money involved?
Yeah.
Why are these like extra attachments and bullshit? Where it's like, yeah, if you spend like 300 of the in-game currency, you get a scope. It's like.
Yeah.
Why do I need that?
Yeah.
You know, that was my problem. I just wanted a simple game to go in, shoot, have fun. Yeah. When I was in the game, it was fun, but it was just the dead in-betweens of why is it like
what's
this?
going on? And I think like, because the problem I think with the beta was that it was a little slower, it was a little easier. It felt a little clunkier too, and yeah, that customizing it was just a little confusing with everything. But with the full release, like it feels a lot smoother. It feels pretty great, and like you just jump in and go.
Okay.
Like the attachments are still there, but really. It's just like as you're running around and you have like, I don't know, an AK, maybe you find like an M16 that has more attachments that's a little higher, and it'll show you like the rarity and like, you know, just some little stats, and you can be like, oh, this has more attack, or this has something better that I like, let me pick that up, you know. And so it's not as much of a like, I'm looking at my stats, looking at all the attachments, trying to change stuff up. Which, yeah, I agree. That's like silly in this kind of game. Yeah. But like, you know, it's easy just to pick up and go. And then when you open a little store, like buying all the bombs and stuff, like I appreciated that you can load yourself out.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can heal up, and then they have like 2 attachments you can buy for your gun if you want to change something, and 2 guns you can buy to change it up, which I like. There's a little more customization, more options. Okay. So it feels like you have more options, and it's a positive rather than a negative.
Okay, yeah. I may have to retouch it then.
That's what I also heard about, at least when it came between Left 4 Dead and Bad for Blood, is that this game focuses a lot on replayability. So like pretty much when you play it a second time or whenever, how many other times you play it, it's not going to feel the same as the first time you play it, no matter what, because of all of those like different options that you have.
Real quick, the developers for Left 4 Dead was started by Turtle Rock Studios.
There we go.
And who were brought by Valve during the game's creation, and then they continued development at Valve Studios. Okay, so it was the same creators. Yeah, they started with Turtle Rock, and now Turtle Rock is doing Back 4 Blood, which is good. It's considered to be the spiritual successor of Left 4 Dead. Everyone wanted a Left 4 Dead 3 because the Left 4 Dead series has always been great. I wasn't a fan of the second one, but had its own problems. But the first one, the series itself was always great.
Yeah.
There was a lot of replayability in those as well. Yeah. You know, a lot of things have changed. You know, you go to a car, there's a med pack on it. Next time you go, there's something different. Yeah. You don't know, it's different. And the way that the AI works. Do you know about the director?
For
AI?
Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if it has something like that in Back 4 Blood, but there was like an AI director because the game was kind of put in like movie style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know how when you start the game, it shows like a poster.
Yeah.
Like No Mercy, you know, and it's like a movie thing. The AI that was in charge of all the zombies and where things spawn and things like that, it was called the director. Where that's why like it was always so random of what was happening.
Yeah.
Like it'll detect like things like health, like how healthy are you guys? What difficulty are we on? Yeah. Okay, let me put pills here instead of something else.
Like a whole med pack or something.
Yeah, so let me put pills here. They're doing too well. It's like, okay, let me not give them more health because they're already doing way too fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing extremely good. Let me throw a tank in there. It was that adaptive AI that I feel like made it amazing because it was different all the time. There were certain parts where it was always going to be the same. The crescendo moments they called it.
Yeah.
Where you have to shoot a gas tank to progress, and that's going to activate the horde.
Yeah.
So. There was that, but there was a lot of just like you're just hanging around. Oh, the horde's coming.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. I don't know if Back for Blood has something like that to make it as random or kind of crazy.
I know they changed the difficulties a lot. Like in Back for Blood, in the beta, you can play like medium or the quote unquote normal mode, and like it was fine. You can play the hard mode, and it's like a regular hard mode. Now, when you start the game, you start on recruit. You start on easy mode, and it's challenging, which is kind of weird. But like as you progress in the difficulties, you have to strategize. You have to use the card system, which I think is kind of cool because like you jump into it in recruit. You have these cards, which is whatever. You can pick whatever. It's no big deal.
I wasn't a big fan of the cards. I'm just a loser.
I don't like shit. In the beginning, me neither. Because it was just kind of weird and convoluted. But like, I feel like, they give you the option to jump in. You can grab your cards. You have your starter decks, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, when you finish with recruit, that's when you're comfortable with the game. And then you can start building your like deck and like specializing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So like, in Left 4 Dead, you're just, you grab whatever and you do whatever. There's not as much depth to it. With this one, you have to have a healer. You have to have a soldier to hit like weak spots. You have to have someone to take aggro. Yeah. And like you can build yourself out more, and there's depth. Like you can't just run into higher difficulties and grab whatever because you'll just get ran over.
I like that.
Okay.
That's cool.
I have to definitely retouch. I'm used to just the Left 4 Dead formula of grab your shit, go, let's just work with each other kind of bullshit.
I like that.
But I didn't like the beta, so I just haven't touched the release, but I'll give it a try now.
And it's faster. The gameplay feels faster. The zombies feel faster, and everything feels more impactful.
So like the story, I'm still looking at the Back 4 Blood like stuff. The story for like Left 4 Dead mainly was getting from point A to B to escape.
Yes.
It seems like from what I'm reading here, the story for Back 4 Blood, instead of surviving and finding a safe place, you're fighting the zombies to create safe spaces.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to survive.
Yeah.
So different, still same like concept, which is interesting.
Same construct.
So yeah, I mean, I guess then I'm excited. It is, I think, free for Xbox Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
So.
My broke boy PS4 ain't gonna get nothing now.
I'm sorry, it smells like bitch in here.
I'm sure it'll be free for PS4 eventually.
I mean, after a while, yeah.
Is it crossplay on all systems?
That's what I was about to ask.
Let me find that out for you.
Because I know PC and Xbox, 100%. Yeah. But I know PlayStation, they like to be a little...
Well, because they're charging companies for that crossplay.
Exactly.
Crossplay is not a feature that's often found in games that aren't following the free-to-play model, but Back 4 Blood has it. It supports crossplay across the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Yo, Jamel, PlayStation wants you to buy Back 4 Blood to play with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, if you're looking to play something with your friends, definitely pick up Back 4 Blood. Yeah. Patrick is a fan of it. I can't endorse something yet until I play it. So
from what I've seen,
I'll get back to you maybe next time.
Yeah, I'll definitely probably be getting, especially during since holiday season's coming up. I know there's gonna be a few deals. I'm probably gonna end up being able to snag it for like $30 or something like that.
Yeah. And speaking of new games, before we continue, anyone else want to say anything about Back 4 Blood?
Good game.
Good game. That's it.
It was fun.
It's good game.
It's good. It's very good. Very nice.
The next thing I want to talk about is the new Metroid game that just came out, Metroid Dread. Any of you know anything about it?
Yeah. Oh, do you want to?
No, I was like, yeah, I hear yes, and I'm like waiting.
I saw two reviews of it, not spoiler-free reviews, and that was about it. So I've just seen a little bit of gameplay, but I don't know too much about it though.
I mean, I'm excited just in the fact that, because Fusion was my favorite Metroid game. I didn't play a lot of Metroid. I played like the GameCube versions, like Prime and stuff.
Prime was really fucking good.
But like my favorite out of all of them was Fusion on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like yo, that was I had a great time and I loved the concept.
And that was the last game story wise.
Yeah, and this one just continues it.
Yeah.
Which weird. It took like for like 10 years or more.
I mean, we're still waiting for Metroid Prime 4 that they announced that they're working. We have zero like gameplay or anything of it other than that one video. Was that 4?
Was that E3 2019?
Who fucking knows?
It wasn't 2020.
But it's too bad because I'm never gonna play those games because I don't think I'll ever buy a Switch.
Yeah, the Switch doesn't have a lot of things that interest me other than Smash. But
and I don't want to support Nintendo's dirty activities.
Yeah, Nintendo's kind of whack when it comes to shit.
Like,
but that also leads into the second part of it.
Yeah.
So Metroid Dread came out. A lot of people are having a good time.
Yeah.
It plays, if you haven't heard or seen anything about it, it plays a lot like Fusion or a lot of the classic Metroid games. Not like the 3D stuff like Prime or anything.
No, there was that one game that came out that is kind of modeled after.
I'm talking about like on the DS? Excuse me?
No.
The DS games? I don't know any.
No,
I don't
not
know.
the DS.
I know there's like a bunch of like spin-off,
I
quote
think
unquote.
it came out for like the Wii or Wii U, but it's like that kind of, it's like a 2D platformer, but like super updated, and it has like these little things.
But I'm saying like it still plays the 2D, you gotta search around that classic Metroid Castlevania kind of game.
Metroidvania,
that's where the name comes from. But it plays like that, obviously a lot more high end because we're in 2021 with the Switch. It's
1080p.
If you are a fan of those kind of games like Metroid Fusion in them, then you will enjoy this game. Gameplay wise, there are some new stuff in there that make it feel a little bit more fresh. But overall, gameplay wise, it feels good. So a lot of people are talking about the game and how good it is, but also wanting people to support the game because God damn it, does Nintendo feel like Metroid is the fucking fatherless child of Nintendo that is like
Nintendo
doesn't give anyone any love. We're still waiting on Bayonetta 3.
Yeah,
but
on fucking Star Fox,
we were out here down bad for any time there was like a Nintendo development thing. We were just waiting for anything Metroid related. Ever since Prime 4 was quote unquote announced that they're in development, we're just waiting for a morsel. And finally Metroid Dread came out. I don't know if there was any news about it coming out before, but they announced it.
It was pretty damn quick. They came out with the announcement for it over at Nintendo Direct 2 months before the release date. That was it.
And I think they're trying to capture that Metroid Fusion horror of it because remember Metroid Fusion, the SAX, the horror aspect of you can't do shit to her.
Yeah.
Now they have the EMMIs, I think they're called, which you also can't do shit to
until you get close to end game.
Yeah, but same thing with the SAX. So in the beginning they have that horror element of you can't fuck with these guys, just don't try it. If you see one, run the fuck away.
I like that.
So it's cool. Not the problem, but what's been going on is emulation. Emulators have been a thing for a while, and there are different kinds. For Nintendo's usually is Dolphin.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people are, pirating the game.
Yeah.
Whatever. And people are like, can you not fucking pirate these games? We don't want Nintendo to not make profit on this, so that way they don't make more Metroids.
Yeah. But Nintendo needs to stop being bad.
Then that's also the thing. Nintendo itself, they're bad at some of these Western business practices of keeping games alive. They just came out with a Switch thing, right? To play some of the older games, and you got to pay another subscription for that.
Did they really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Let me look that up real quick.
Because they just came out with their new OLED Switch thing.
The OLED Switch was the most recent thing that they came out with. What's it? longer battery capacity. The OLED screen is the main thing about it, from what I've seen review-wise.
But like, it's the price is still the same fucking thing essentially.
Yeah,
it's not like stronger.
Yeah.
I think it has like a Wi-Fi
the dock
thing to it, but it's like
has a LAN port now.
It's like
why wasn't that just come with it?
Yeah, it's very simple quality of life upgrades that should have been standard years ago.
It's just the same way how Apple treats their phones, you know. Or all of their products.
Well, Apple, the difference between Apple and Nintendo is Apple, even though I'm not a fan of Apple, Apple makes good products generally, and they have a good ecosystem. Nintendo, they make okay products, but then they have these IPs that you want, and they just don't try.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, with the Wii U, the big thing was 1080p. And, you know, we're on the Nintendo Switch years later. The big thing is 1080p. Wow, at 60 frames a second. Hoo, ha.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's like
PC players are just like laughing up a storm right now.
Yeah, it's like Nintendo. You know we have 8K now, right?
Yeah.
You know, your games don't need to be like 1 gigabyte worth of memory. Like, you can actually put more love and effort into these games.
Exactly.
Like the Mario games, you know? The Mario games
They will forever stay $60.
Gigabytes. 3 gigabytes worth of a game. And what makes me mad about this is you look at like Call of Duty. You know, Call of Duty doesn't take... I'm not gonna say it doesn't take a lot of effort, but it's a lot of copy paste and stuff.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is like 100 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Mario was 3 gigabytes, and they literally had a whole system in place to copy and paste the game, no real changes, and then they have the audacity to just sell that Mario Maker. Like, this is what we've been using to make Mario games for the past couple years. You know what? Here you go. Now you can also do what we did. And it's just like... I don't know, I just feel so robbed.
Yeah.
Like, why am I gonna pay these exorbitant prices for these, you know, it's a cute game, but like...
But why?
No.
Why should it be full price? Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't go down because they don't make enough games.
Yeah.
And they don't have enough third-party support because they're bad.
So, so check this, right?
Yes.
So a lot of the Nintendo games, for the longest time before the Switch came out, was not easily accessible. If you wanted to play like a GameCube game, that wasn't being supported on the Wii U, or that was the Wii U was before Switch, right? There was nothing. There was nothing in between, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. If there wasn't supported on the
DS
Wii U,
and shit.
if there was no like support from the Wii U, and you had to find a way to find the GameCube if you didn't have one, a GameCube controller, all the fucking cables, and the physical game itself.
Yep.
I had to buy Metroid Prime 1 for $60 recently because the one I had didn't work. And so I tried to buy it on the Wii U, which it came with the 3 Metroid games, and I was like, great, amazing, fantastic. But no GameCube support. Had to play it with the Wiimote and a nunchuck, which I'm used to for Metroid Prime 3, but 1 and 2 I played on the GameCube, and I just preferred control. I was like, there is zero support, absolutely zero support for the GameCube controller. That's fucking whack. So I had to buy, the $60 fucking game from a random game store because there was no like online good version of it. Yeah. So that's why like emulation for Nintendo games has been a big thing. A lot of people have been doing it, and it's like emulation has always been like, pirating has always been like a kind of gray area because people are like, yeah, you're stealing the game, and it's like, well, I'm not stealing the game because you can't steal like if you have something digitally, right? Like you have an image. Yeah. I screenshot the image. Now I have the image. Yeah. You didn't lose the image. I just have the image now.
It's not being taken. It's just...
That's what like some people say about the piracy. It's like, oh no, the company lost $60. This multi-billion-dollar company lost a few $1,000s. Yeah. So I just looked up the Nintendo Switch, like the classic games that they're offering, right? You could play NES games with online stuff for the Switch. None of us have a Switch, so none of us were aware of this. So you can pay $20 a year for the basic online membership. So you can play SNES games, online games, store shit in the cloud, etc.
Okay.
Or you can pay $50 a year for the expansion pack, which also includes, seems like Animal Crossing DLC, Genesis games, and Nintendo 64 games.
Wow.
Why?
For $50 a year.
You see, the problem I have with Nintendo, while Xbox
with
is
no monthly option, you can only get the extended for the $50 a year.
You see,
that's a trap.
Xbox, Epic, PlayStation. I'm not crazy about PlayStation's practices, but PlayStation looks like, frickin' like just the most generous company compared to Nintendo, giving away free games. Nintendo's like, why would we give away our 20-year-old games when we can charge exorbitant prices for them?
Yeah.
And our people will buy them, and that's what upsets me. Like when they came out with a little Nintendo emulator, and that's cute, okay, and it's sold out. It's like, why are you still trying to charge for these NES games?
Yeah.
SNES games.
It's like Xbox especially has been good with, you already have the game.
Oh yeah.
Just put it in the console and we can play it for you. Like, it's fine. You don't have to re-buy the fucking game.
Yeah.
By the way, if you are planning to share your account for the subscription, it raises the price to $35.99 or $34.99 for basic and $80 for expansion.
Ooh, take my
if
money,
you
Nintendo.
sign up for the family membership.
I was about to say, because God forbid you have more, like you and your children want to all do it at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be $80 for the expansion
That's
a year
ridiculous.
with no monthly
to play
version.
64 games.
And like that stuff's hard to find nowadays. Like they stopped manufacturing all of those a long time ago. So a lot of people, going back to the point, was that Dread came out, people are already emulating it, and people are like, yeah, but can you not? Because we want Metroid to do good, and we want to be able to get more Metroid games because we want Metroid games.
I would, this may be controversial, I would not mind Nintendo dying. Nintendo dying.
FBI, open up!
As a console maker and just be a publisher.
Oh, like Sega?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, there was a lot of talk about this before the Switch came out, because the Wii U did so atrocious, because Nintendo just shit awful at damn near everything. And like, they were like, Nintendo really could just back out and just be a publisher. I would prefer that, because
Nintendo is the Disney of the gaming world.
Yeah, I would. It's because it's so expensive because we're paying for quality. No.
You don't think quality? I'm saying like the polish that first-party Nintendo games have. They have an insane amount of polish on them. Like the Mario fucking golf game that they came out looks great. You can see the fucking fabric of the clothes. The game itself, whack. But I'm saying like the first-party part Nintendo games, they have that polish of, it's gonna guarantee to look good. Is it gonna be a good game?
Well, I mean, Nintendo.
You're paying for Mario how you're paying $60 for a fucking Mickey hat because of the symbol.
But to see the quality on the clothes, that's decade-old technology. Like, we damn near had that on the PS2 era.
I don't know if you're playing the same game. I don't know.
But I mean, like,
Homeboy was playing PS. He had the PS6.
He had
the PS6 playing GTA 8.
Like,
bro.
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, those games look damn good. Nintendo's caught up to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. Like, now we can see the follicles on these people's faces. We can see the disappointment in their parents' faces. And that's awesome. That's great. But Nintendo's like, they're good just selling us old shit with Mario for crazy prices, and people just throw money at them. Like, they
really do.
Yeah. Any
Zelda game, any Mario game, people are gonna buy them, and it's sad because Nintendo is a I don't want to say like a child company, but that's who they cater to the most. The casuals.
Yeah, like
they're not doing anything like crazy competitive. They're not making they're not taking risks.
No.
Yeah, and it's like
they come out with comfortable games every year that they know people are going to buy.
People are definitely going to buy them,
so they keep making them.
And their model is also just generally like, well, PlayStation is also a Japanese company.
Yeah.
So Nintendo is more of like they have a lot of like JRPGs and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things that they focus on involve the Japanese in mind. That's why the Switch is what it is. So you can take it out wherever you go, because they're thinking about those consumers as well.
Yeah.
But internationally, at least in America, it's all right.
Yeah.
You know, you play the Switch at work on your break for 15 minutes, I guess. Yeah. But it's also like, you know, they do more communes and shit like that. So, like, I understand they're just behind and they want to pretend like the internet, like, they don't, because of the internet, like, Japan and America, they don't talk.
Yeah.
You know, but we have the internet. Obviously, you have to be able to, you know, communicate properly on how things are. But
no, 100%, like you're saying, it's like mainly for like that type of culture, like always being around and being very active. Like I thought about getting a Switch just recently, but then I thought about myself, I was like, in what other situation would I be using the Switch in a handheld form? Like if I'm sitting on my couch, I live by myself, so if I'm sitting on my couch playing it on the handheld, why would I not just play it on the TV?
Yeah.
Like, and then like I work, like, why would I take it to work? Like, you know what I mean?
There's not a lot of games that are on the Switch that personally cater to me.
Like if you're somebody that like travels a lot, like if you're like always on the go, always on the move,
then that's different.
Yeah. It's definitely to
you can play it on the fucking planes that you go on, trains, whatever the fuck.
To a different type of lifestyle. Also depends on how social you are. Obviously, Nintendo has been normally like a family-oriented gaming company when it comes to the consoles or the games themselves. Like that's the whole thing. But then they sort of, like you said, they sort of like backtracked on that whole little promise or that whole little flair of like, this is something that I can come and anybody in my family can play. Now, if you have a family, you're the one who suffers the most. So like the thing that like Nintendo doesn't, that they like you're saying that Nintendo does now, is if you have a game, save files are tied to their fucking Nintendo accounts now. So like if you have a game and you just have, let's say you have 3 kids and you just want to buy this one game for $60. All right, and let's say they each have their own Switch. Well, they can't play their own game on their account for that. Like you can't just buy the game once for the entire family. Now you have to buy it 3 separate times because it has to be attached to their account. You can't just have one console that they can just flip accounts to, and that
which I know
is a very shitty thing.
I know Xbox you can do. I don't know about PlayStation.
PlayStation you can. Like if I have a household and I buy fucking, let's say I buy, I can't say Halo, I have a PlayStation. Let's say I buy Uncharted 4. I can just switch accounts on the PS4.
Yeah.
And then they can still play Uncharted 4 because the game.
But it's also the game's files are on the console. The console should boot up the account and say, oh, this game's already installed on my hard drive.
Yeah,
It should be able to be accessed.
But now, if for any reason, let's say you get Breath of the Wild. All right, so you play it on your Switch, or you play it on the, like you're the parent, you play it on like the living room Switch. Well, your son has a Switch in his room and it's not going to let him play that version on his Switch, so now you got to buy the game twice.
Yeah.
And that's shitty. That's really
Nintendo's
shitty.
dirty, man, and people applaud them for it. They buy 4 Switches, they buy every new edition, and I'm not mad if you're buying every single Nintendo game that comes out. If you're a fan, you collect all their consoles.
It's rough. It really is. It's because the one Mario fucking collection that they came out was like,
which one?
The one that had 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy.
Yeah. God damn, that was.
And that was like what?
In the face,
what was that, like $60 still?
Yeah.
$40?
Yeah, that was a slap
fucking
in the face.
The Insane trilogy that came out was like what, $30?
Yeah.
So it's like you're giving us. They're not even like updated games.
No.
They're not like.
Yeah, not even remastered.
Yeah, they're not remastered in any way. They're just like being ported. That's all it is. It's a port.
Extremely
nothing
lazy
changes,
and greedy.
Nothing changes. Nothing got fixed. No additions. No nothing. Just it looks slightly better. And here you go.
Yeah,
$60
and
please.
it's because it's Nintendo. Like for instance, so let's say like I love playing all the Jack series as a kid on the PlayStation, right? So Jack 1, Jack 2, Jack 3, even fucking Jack X, right? Even Daxter, I played it on the PSP. But I would still, at this current age, if Sony were to come through and say some shit like, all right, we're gonna come out with a Jack collection, Jack 1, 2, 3, even Daxter, even Jack X, and we're gonna give you all of this, and you have to pay $60 for the whole thing. Everybody and their mother would be like, "Are you guys fucking dumb? Why would we do that?"
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But because it's Nintendo, it's different,
Right, and it's like I remember with that example. PlayStation came out with the Jack and Dexter collection, but it was remastered.
Which I did.
Yeah, but it's
Which I did buy.
And it's like, that's like, even a lot of companies get criticism for, what is it? There's a difference between remastering and what's the other one?
It, or
no, it's a different word. It's like remastered. No, it's remastered,
like remade or something like that.
Remake?
Yeah, I think remake. And like, remasters, like, you brush it up, but remakes, like, you change some big things about it.
Reboot,
a perfect example
remake.
would be like what's
Fantasy 7?
No.
So like, for those who may be confused, like, between the two, a remaster is just upgraded visuals.
Yeah.
A remake is built from the ground up.
Like a
Andromeda.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, yes, like they came out with the remade Mass Effect collection.
Like, they usually call it like definitive edition or something.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Like, you remade the game, you went in, you updated mechanics.
Yeah.
Awesome. Take my money if I'm interested in that. Nintendo like, we did the least amount of possible work.
Dead Space is getting a remake.
Really?
Oh.
Dead Space 1 is getting a remake.
Ooh, I may have to give them my money.
It's not a remaster.
Yeah.
I think it's a remake.
And that's how I feel about like Ratchet and Clank, like the new Ratchet and Clank. The first one was a remake of the. It's the first game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like you said, they start from the ground up, so that's when that feels like a whole new experience. That's like old Hulk to new Hulk. It's like a whole new. It feels like a whole new experience. So that's why I'm willing to pay a whole new experience for the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's it called? Just to touch on the emulation portion of it, because I do know that PlayStation had a subscription. I don't know if they do now. PlayStation Now.
Yeah, they still.
That shit is whack because all you're doing is emulating the games on their server.
That's all you're doing,
and it runs like garbage.
Yeah, I think they stopped. I think, if I'm not incorrect, I think they stopped offering that service. They're trying to change it up or something.
Because I tried playing one of the God of War games on PSP.
Oh yeah,
I was on hold.
Don't even.
I was on. They said. I had to wait 15 minutes to be able to play it because I guess too many people were playing it.
Wow.
And so I had to wait till someone leaves and then I got in line. And I was like, what the fuck? Like on Xbox, I buy the game. I now own the game. It runs on my Xbox. It doesn't run from their fucking server. It runs on my Xbox. So that plays way better.
What's even better is Xbox just came out, they just went miles ahead with their streaming. Now on my computer, I can stream console games. Even more, I can stream shit from original Xbox on my computer. And the streaming is damn good. I was playing For Honor.
I can stream shit on my Atari.
I was playing For Honor on my computer, and my internet is not extra godlike. It's good internet.
Yeah.
And holy cow, I wasn't facing a lot of lag. I kept up. It was insane how far streaming has come. But Nintendo is 2 decades behind.
Yeah.
So maybe in 2050, Nintendo will have something like that. Mm-hmm. But they'll probably charge you, I don't know, $100 a year to play their fucking NES games.
So on Amazon, the Super Mario 3D All-Stars for the Switch, I don't know if this is correct. It's for the Nintendo Switch, not a digital code. Is $59.75.
Yep.
So $60.
Yep. That's what Nintendo do.
Yep. Also, the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, same example. Bowser's Fury is a new thing. I think it doesn't add too many fucking hours.
Yeah,
I think if you're,
it's just it's a little smaller, little mini.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to complete everything, I think you get an extra 2 hours of gameplay. But that one is still $60, even though Super Mario 3D World, again, not a remake. just a remaster, just to put it on the Switch and then say, here's a little 2 hours of extra gameplay.
Yeah.
Boom, $60 again. And it's like, that kind of business practice I'm not a fan of. Again, the Insane Trilogy, the Spyro games, they came out at a discounted price, even though they came from like PS2 to fucking PS4, and they look amazing.
Exactly.
You know,
like you said,
and it's cheaper.
If you're just sort of like polishing up the game and just sort of like porting it over again, it shouldn't be worth the $60 price. You didn't make a whole new game. You just took somebody else's game, cleaned it up. It's those people who like go to thrift stores and like clean up thrift clothes and then sell it on like high fashion websites for like exuberant amounts of money. I mean, this is still an old game.
But it's like Nintendo has to do that because they don't have a lot of games.
They don't have much to offer.
You know, it's like if I buy a Switch right now, the amount of games, like even if I was like into Mario and stuff, like the amount of games that I would really want to buy is like maybe 20 or less. I saw like maybe 15 games.
Yeah, I'd say.
And every single one of those games are gonna be $60 frickin' dollars.
Yep.
Because that's it. It's like you have 20 good games on this console. You know, like not like with PlayStation, Xbox that you have 100 games that are good, maybe like 50 really good ones you're into, you know, but all these other options, third-party options. No, Nintendo has 15 good games, and you're paying $60 for every single one of them.
They are, since they are also like a first-party developer, their IPs very limited.
Yeah,
because again, you're paying for the IP. That's all it is. They have, you know, like Mario, they have Zelda, they have all that. And in some of their IPs, they don't even take good care of. Because again, Metroid, we're still here. We're still waiting for 4. You know, Star Fox, you know, all that. Bayonetta is not a first party, but again, we're still waiting on that. People are excited for that. So it's like...
never mind. Oh yeah, well they made
they finally
Scarlet
created
Nexus.
Yeah.
Which is like sort of it's by
they finally
Platinum?
came out. Yeah, Platinum. They finally came out with. Are you talking about Bayonetta 3?
No, Scarlet Nexus. It's like it's a cute little anime game that's made by Platinum, and it's sort of similar to like that Bayonetta. Not as good or polished.
Because like we just recently got that one teaser or video from that, where it came
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta, but Metroid as well as Nintendo.
And Nintendo ruined Bayonetta by giving them all this money to exclusively release it on the Wii U.
Oh yeah, that was
and like you know they're trying to bring people
Never played it because of that.
Yeah, Nintendo is just bad with their support, man. Like if only they just changed their business practices, did better support, you know, just were better in general, I wouldn't be mad at them.
Yeah.
But they just try to sell you shit and paint it as gold, man.
And they're gonna keep doing it until things change. And I feel looking at the game industry, there is gonna be a change. Mm-hmm. There's gonna be something big happening soon. I don't know what it is. I feel that the direction that we're going, there's gonna be some changes. There definitely is gonna be some changes.
Because like they're just not gonna be getting the support, and you know, like they sell a lot of consoles, they sell a lot well, but you know they're not making like crazy money like that just because. You know, compared to these other bigger developers or bigger you know Xbox, PlayStation, like. They just don't have a lot. Yeah. You know, you make a console, you sell a lot of it, but you only have 20 games people are buying. You know, you're not making that much money, so you have to, like, gouge your audience. You have to sue players for having tournaments for your game. You have to sue players
about this
for wanting to share your game. You have to sue players for wanting to love Nintendo, and Nintendo's like, no.
I completely forgot about that Smash stuff.
Oh, yeah, Nintendo's gonna sue you for loving their game and wanting to share it. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Is there anything positive that we want to talk about? Is there any other topics that we have?
Baki Hanma, have you guys seen it?
Baki Hanma.
I see a lot of random shit. I've never watched it, and I know you hate me for it.
Well, I don't hate you for it.
A fake fan of it.
Oh no, you hated me for it.
So,
because he's always like, "Oh, do you know this?" Is like, "Oh, I never watched it, but I see clips."
He hit you with that stank face.
All I do is watch clips.
But about like 2 or 3 years ago, if you were to look at me and Elliot, you were to think that Elliot, the way how he would always talk about this one specific anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you would think that Elliot
pretty indie anime.
was the anime fan, because he would always reference it. He would always know this, that, and the other. Almost to the point he knew like clips, like he knew like panels from the manga, but like Elliot just did everything but just watch the anime. That's so Elliot, like you see Elliot with a freaking JoJo
social
sticker.
media whore.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about people wearing shirts, wearing like representing something, but not actually knowing it.
Get him.
With Elliot. So like, you know, Elliot was like
fake
talking
fan.
about JoJo. So you know, I'm literally thinking like if JoJo's Bizarre, if Elliot
Oh,
were anime,
we were getting ice cream. We were getting ice cream when you figured that out.
Yeah. and then so I actually this year or like last year going into this year, I watched all parts of the end of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime, and I started reading like the manga up to like part like 6 or 7 right now, and so now I actually understand all these references and all these things that Elliot would talk about the anime. So I'm just thinking he was a long time fan that's already like caught up and whatever he's doing about the same way he is with Dragon Ball.
His smug
and
fucking look right now.
I know, and then this like, and you know, during the entire time I'm watching the anime, I'm like sitting to Elliot fucking like, I'm like asking the questions like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck's going on? I'm like sitting to him like me watching specific clips of the anime, thinking that he's like seen it before, that because I thought I had a reference point to guide me throughout the entire watching experience. But then it comes to show that Elliot has not seen a singular full episode of that entire anime. And then I was completely fucking thrown back. I was flabbergasted. Like, what do you mean you don't watch this? You're the representation that whenever I think about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I think about Elliot. So what are you telling me? What's my life now? What do I represent?
I still see the shadows in my room.
In defense, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like half of it is, I don't want to say like bad, but it's that granddaddy anime.
Oh no, yeah,
that's
100%,
like it's aged not very. I watched it.
I watched part 1 like fucking 4 times before I actually started watching the rest of it, and so pretty much I had to wait until part 5, the most recent part that came out for me to actually like watch it all the way through, because part 1 I could not get past.
All I know is I think 4, the Stardust Crusaders. Either that's 3 or 4, one of those.
Which one is it?
Yeah, I think I got through.
Dio.
Dio? Well, which one? Dio's name?
The one that got real popular with.
Where they have the stands.
The stands.
I think that's 3. I think it starts in 3, but then it also carries over to like 4.
When stands first became a thing.
I'm like halfway through 3, and then I fell off.
I haven't watched it, but that's all I know.
Because they're using like a special different type of power.
Yotero.
They're using Hamo
Dio
for the first 2 seasons.
Oh my god!
You know? So it's just I definitely fell in love with it after the third. Once I got to the 3rd part, I definitely fell in love with it, and I just sort of had to power through just halfway through the 2nd part definitely, and I just had to power through the 1st part and then the first part, like the first half of the 2nd part. But I was completely like betrayed whenever Elliot told me, oh yeah, I've never seen the anime. What do you mean you've never seen the anime?
I mean, and then here we are.
Back to
here we are. Same thing with Baki. Never seen it, but I know a lot about it. It was one of those shows where, like, before it blew up, when Baki came out on Netflix, like, just Baki. I saw it, and I was like, why do they kind of look so ugly?
Yeah, no, that's what turned me off from the anime.
Why they look like that? Thick. But then at the same time, I was watching, like, you know, when you hover over a Netflix show, like, it gives you that preview or whatever the fuck. I was just like, seems dope. Scroll. It's
like, there's a painter that made like the paintings that everyone's just like engorged and like fat.
Yeah.
But that's what like Baki styled after.
Yeah. And then I just see that the dude's dad had black Air Force energy, and that's all I know about the show. Is that this guy's a menace. He fought Muhammad Ali Jr. and Muhammad Ali Jr. just walked away and won the fight, quote unquote. And fucking this guy swimming in 20 kilometers per hour water naturally.
Oh, in Hama?
Yeah, for like an hour, he's just vibing
underwater diving.
Yeah, like yo, this guy's a whole menace.
But I mean, honestly, in Baki, like you could really get the synopsis of everything, and like every episode could be boiled down to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shit, especially in Baki Hanma, which got really annoying, which like they deep dive into random shit. It's like before a fight, this guy would hold up a peace sign and be like, I'm going to use the scissor technique. And they'll go into like a whole 5-minute dive of scissors created in 1874 when this man put two shears together.
You ever seen the other that 3D CGI anime that's on Netflix too? I think it's like Kengan Ashura.
I know, yeah. I know you're talking
that anime I have seen. And I've seen all of it.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
It's actually great. I fucking love it. But it also does the thing where like, because there was a big dude, right? Like big but muscular kind of dude who was a fisherman, and he was suffering land sickness or something. Oh, yeah. And, you know, they went over what land sickness is. Yeah. And then a guy punched him.
I've seen this. Yes, I've seen that
where the guy punches him in the temple, and that activates... It shakes his head, and it makes him feel like he's back on the water, so he has perfect fucking balance again. Yeah. And it's this big fucking dude balancing on one foot, kind of upside down. And it's like, what the
But they spend like a whole, like maybe almost 10 minutes talking about his backstory, explaining what's going on with the fisherman's sea legs and all this shit.
See, like, I didn't find any problem with it, because it's like, okay, I'm understanding a lot more of why these fights are interesting. Rather just being confused is like, why the fuck did he get hit and now he can go upside down?
I think I'm sort of like I guess I don't know if it's necessarily a popular or unpopular like opinion, but I like when I'm watching an anime and like you said, like I like whenever the powers are explained or what's happening.
That's why there's always like a stupid character from Dragon Ball or Naruto or Bleach just has to be on the sidelines to explain what the fuck is going on. Yeah. Except in Bleach, the people fighting explain it to each other. Yeah, it's just kind of funny. But like, that's why Naruto's there. Yeah.
But like I know what you mean. Whenever it's too much of an exposition, like it's a grand
departure
silly. From it's silly. Like it's a grand departure.
I think it depends how they do it.
Itself. Like it's a pacing. It's a right.
Because there's one.
If they do it well, and it doesn't disturb the pacing, then I think it's fine. Yeah. But if it does disturb the pacing, then it's a problem.
Yeah. Like there's one fight in Baki Hanma where I forget his name, but the giant black guy that's like
Oliver,
Biscuit. Biscuit. He's fighting this new guy who's from this other country, and like the whole fight is like 3 episodes. And like the whole most of the first part of the fight and like middle of the fight is them holding a handkerchief, and it's called like Lose or Lose. Oh, and like, dude, they must have spent like 20 minutes talking about like where this is from, why holding these handkerchiefs are important. He changed his finger position. This is what it means in Lose or Lose, and this is the history. He changed this now. This is what it means now, and it's just like.
Yeah, that's when it starts to get
care. Like, and the whole thing is like, you know,
this is the guy who's trying to explain everything. Because it's like, bro's like, bro, I don't.
You know, it's like beyond the initial like, oh, we have the handkerchief. You know, it's just like, you know, when 2 people hold their hands and have the knife fight. You know, it's like, okay, give me the little exposition. I understand why it's important, but then like you don't need to re-explain every stupid detail. And all that happened was the fight. Like the synopsis, they pull the handkerchief out. They hold the handkerchief. One guy smacks up Biscuit. Biscuit hits back. Changes hand positions. Then they say fuck the handkerchief, and then Biscuit fucking slaps him in the chest. Guy gets back up, hits Biscuit a little bit. Biscuit slams him into the ground.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think he gets back up again, and Biscuit slams into the ground again, and that's it. You know, and like there's not a lot of fight.
There's not a lot of fight. There's a lot of explaining.
It's a funny show, okay? Homeboy there was an earthquake. Homeboy put his hand on the ground and stopped the earthquake.
Oh yeah.
Like,
true.
how you gonna do that? Like, it's like that level of ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Like, they're about to fight. And he's like, oh, yo, there's an earthquake. And he goes, hold on. Puts the hand on the ground.
All right, now let's
find. And everyone's like, "Yo, did this guy just stop a whole tectonic plate?"
But I don't mind the silliness because
Yeah.
Baki doesn't take itself too seriously, which I like.
That's why it's so
and it's
fucking
silly.
funny.
But I just can't stand when exposition is just so long and so just like redundant and uninteresting.
It's like whenever RPGs keep giving you like tutorials. I'm talking to you, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh.
It's like whenever like games give you like way too many tutorials, like, but you're like already like level 50. You're like, bro, I'm like over halfway through the game. Like I'm already halfway through the episode. I'm already invested. Like I don't need you guys to explain this. It takes away from like it literally like takes your attention away from what's physically happening inside the show. You want fight. You want to straight up. Even if they explain it after the fight. You know, you just want to be able to have one continuous fight, and I haven't seen Baki Hanma. I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but you're right.
Yeah, the first season was hype.
Yeah.
That was hype. I really like that. Hanma.
The fucking demon back.
Yo. Baki's got the demon back now.
I know.
Yeah.
It was kind of hype
He left
too.
the sweat mark of the demon face on the concrete.
No, you don't understand. He flexed his back muscle so hard, it slammed the ground and he jumped up.
Yeah.
And so it left an imprint.
And then his dad walks into him about to fuck his girlfriend. He's like, yes. Fuck. Get
I like
stronger.
that. I like that.
Fuck as many times as you can, then fight me. Like, what the fuck?
And then they're like, yeah, my dick is pretty soft. I don't know about you.
And then she's like, I don't know, I'm kind of harder now.
And Baki's like, wait.
Oh man, like that show. I actually do have to watch it.
It's fun.
You
it's
gotta
fun.
watch Kengan Ashura.
I have watched it.
Oh no, who hasn't watched it?
I've seen it.
I just didn't recognize the name.
Oh,
but I watched it all the way through. I was a little, not annoyed, but just like sad where it ended.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it was good. I wanted more.
They're trying to continue it because the manga is definitely like far ahead, but they're trying to like get it back going again, and they ended it at a really high point.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was.
They ended it at a high point.
It was crazy hype.
I needed some more things to be resolved, and obviously, like I was like, oh, is this it? But yeah,
it's just a little like with Baki Hanma too. I thought he was gonna fight his dad because after the first season, he's looking at his dad like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you," and then all of a sudden, like that's just not there.
Yeah,
like, I'm like, okay, it's just so slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it like not a lot happens, and it ends up with him, spoiler, defeating Biscuit.
Whoa.
And that fight, it was cute, but not as hype. Like that fight was probably below most of all the fights in season 1.
Yeah,
just in hypeness. Like,
yeah, I'm about to say the whole thing about this. That's great about the show is the animation. People don't really care about the story, to be honest with you.
They just like the fights.
Except when it gets ridiculous.
They like the fights.
They just like the fights and how the fights go on for so long. You're like, this guy's definitely fucking dead. This guy, 100%. His arms cut off. His legs cut off. He's like missing an eye. He has to be dead. And then through the sheer power of manliness, this guy gets up.
Of muscle.
Like, not today.
No, that was the best fight in Baki, and I'll stand by it. Is when what is it? The thug guy goes up against the tall bald dude.
Yeah.
And like everyone starts narrating it, like the police officers, and he's like, "Oh, he crushed his skull on a sidewalk. He got up. He put pellets in the dude's mouth, slammed it, and exploded. He got up." I mean, that was just like stupid and hype and fun.
It's so dumb, but it's fucking amazing how it goes.
And they tried to do that with the Biscuit fight, but it wasn't nearly as good.
Yeah.
Like, oh my,
this
nowhere
guy
near.
turns into a ball. He turns into like a Pac-Man.
But that was just like irrelevant.
It's like,
almost.
what's going on? And he just eats a whole person. Like what?
And then Baki's just like, No. I'm godlike now.
I already saw the technique, bro. Like, I already...
Yeah. I'm a first-rate fighter.
I just countered.
Silly.
Yo, how long have we been going?
It's an hour 30.
Man, I have not... I didn't even keep track of when we started it.
I know, like, the time just flew by.
I know the one we actually got through most of the topics we wanted to, except one, which I know you wanted to bring up. Do you still want to bring it up, or you want to call it?
We can save it for later. We can save it for next time. It's a little long, unless you really want to bring it up.
What's the line?
It's the Marvel baby.
What If?
Oh man.
I mean, have you guys seen it?
I've seen it all.
Okay. I wanted to bring it up. What do you mean, have I seen it?
I calm the fuck down.
What do you mean?
Guess who hasn't seen it?
Oh my goodness.
I can talk about that one for...
Yeah, because it's 6 episodes. Yeah. We can save that for next time.
Are they coming up with more?
Yes, they're coming out with another.
That may give me time to catch up if I decide to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot, not to unpack. It's just a lot to talk about, and even if you were to talk about just like the little small nuances that are different from each episode, and like what they take away from like the MCU itself, and like things that they like sort of pull from comic books and what they pull from MCU. It was really an entertaining experience. I know a lot of people are like. I know we're not gonna talk about it too much, but I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, is this it? What are they gonna do with the movies? Doesn't need to connect to the movies." It's
what if. That's the whole point.
So let's
What If is originally a comic book like series.
Oh no, yeah. Then we could definitely talk about it next time. Hopefully, I can get more caught up and then watch
it's okay.
it.
I'll let you borrow my account.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, this has been a great time. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Jamal, always a pleasure.
No, definitely. It's been fun. Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. This one ran a little long. I hope you don't mind.
We got taken down for hate violence.
Oh, man. No, for sexual assault.
Hate crime.
That was definitely racially motivated.
Alright, go ahead, Patrick. Sound us off.
Alright, guys. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on episode 3.
Bye.
Bye. Dang, you're not going to say bye, man?
Bye.
Where are you? What?
Yeah, y'all be good now. Praise God.